What's better than a Heritage Custom Core H-150, a limited edition version of the Heritage Custom Core H-150? We've got a pair here we're going to tell you all about, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name's Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you want to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for custom swag. And check out our podcast. We have new episodes. It's called the Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts. So if you've been watching this channel for a bit, we are Heritage guitar dealers. We're big fans. We love what they're doing. Everything's coming out, and it's just fantastic quality, great attention to detail. And the custom cores we are particularly enamored with. So it's real exciting that we were able to get a chance at these limited factory specials that came from the custom core line.
Yeah, we had a very cool factory special custom core previously. These are our first custom core H-150's, and this is kind of what we've been waiting on the most, I think. You know, we had this really fun time with our guy Gerald at NAMM. We got to play some cool stuff, and the factory specials are the things that we get excited about because they're super limited and they're always cool colors and just really fun stuff. So we had that almond sunburst, really cool H535.
575.
570, what?
Isn't it 575? 535. Yeah, you're right.
We had a cool guitar, all right? 575 is the big cat.
one. I'm anxious to get one of those in, that's why.
Yeah, it's on my mind. We're just having a good time. So these are custom core H-150's, but in special colors. We got a Bourbon burst, which should look familiar to fans of this style of guitar. And we got something a little wackier. A little different. Yeah, this is a Cadillac green, which I love Cadillac green. It's super cool. I mean, the custom shops from other brands that we've gotten in Cadillac green, big fan of. I think it's like one of those, there's obviously your black, white, sunburst, red, whatever, and then you got the vintage colors that are kind of the classic automotive stuff. And then this is kind of this sleeper. We've had some really cool green stuff, like that Irish pub green, all that. I just dig a nice green when it's dark and moody like this. Looks fantastic. It's got a nice little kind of metallic sheen that's pretty subtle. But yeah,
and the natural back and
natural back.
Yeah.
Really good looking guitar, and does not disappoint when it comes to the sound and the build quality that we kind of expected on these.
Yeah, these are phenomenal. I love the headstocks on these. The narrow headstock with the gold mother of pearl inlay and the double arrow is always your indication that it's the special custom core stuff. Really nice fretboards on this. That is a particularly dark one. That I was like, that's rosewood, right? Because it's so dark.
You would think it's ebony up to like right here when you get a nice kind of lighter stripe on the rosewood. Which looks good. The
top on this one is very, very nicely figured. And in the way that I like it, it's not super high gloss.
Yeah.
You know, it's not aged in nitro. It doesn't have checking or anything, but it's not super high gloss, which I prefer. And of course, these both come with the 225 classic pickups, which are nice pickups. They're very similar to what you might see from Gibson in the custom buckers, in that they're Alnico 3s, but my understanding is that they're potted, which means that you can play a little bit more high gain with them without fear of the microphonic feedback, which you do with one of these guitars, so stay tuned for that in a bit. But you know, it's fantastic. It's everything that you want in this style of guitar. You've got, you know, hand-wired CTS pots with orange drop capacitors, these fantastic pickups, just incredible fit and finish. Even the neck angles are set up perfectly, long tendon neck joints in these, and so you've got, you know, the proper setup on everything down here, which is important. You know, that kind of gets overlooked a lot. I love there's this kind of, it's almost become a meme, but this video of Joe Walsh, and he's kind of talking about the importance of that being set up correctly, and then you have to have, you know, in his mushmouth way, love Joe Walsh, but he's like the right amount of, you know, space under the bridge kind of a thing. So.
That's a good Joe Walsh.
Thank you. So, yeah, and you know, one of the things that I think gets slept on with Heritage is by going with this headstock, this narrower headstock, it's the same angle as you'd expect from Gibson at 17 degrees, but it's a narrower headstock, which means it's a straighter string pull, which means you deal with less intonation or tuning issues from bending, because usually that's a case of the string passing through that nut slot at such an angle that sometimes it gets hung up, unless you take care of your nuts, kid. So
get checked. Check yourself. And the thing is with these, like you mentioned, not a super glossy nitro finish, but they're almost like, I mean, Heritage does artisan aged stuff. These are not artisan aged, but these are almost like aged a little bit without being reliced. There's no relicing here, but they look like a closet classic type thing.
It's kind of like the VOS treatment, where the finish just is kind of knocked down a bit.
Yeah, so on both of these, the 225s sound fantastic. It's all that organic thickness that you want out of like a nice humbucker, mahogany body, maple topped guitar, not naming any names. But I ran these directly into a Blues Junior. One, this guy, a little bit of amp drive, but generally what some rockers would call sparkly clean.
Edge of breakup.
Yeah, edge of breakup. And then this one, we pushed a little bit further just to kind of see what it can do. Incredible sound off these bad boys.
You know what I love? So, we're just you're about to see this. Pay special attention to Cooper's face during the Cadillac green portion of it so that you can see some great stank guitar face.
Guitarists know it's inadvertent. You never try to do the stank, but the stank finds you. Yeah, take a listen.
All right, there you have it. And now I have the Cadillac green. This is a really cool color. I like that they did the light back.
Natty back?
Yeah, natty back, Cadillac green. All you need is kind of like an old 60s Caddy convertible, top down, driving with the wind in your hair.
Live for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, there you go.
So
sloppy steaks.
Sloppy steaks at Trefani's. I mean, it's all you need. So these guitars, here's my thoughts on Heritage. We We have picked up some smaller brands. This is not necessarily a small brand, but I mean, it's got a small brand, big history.
Yeah, big history and small in comparison.
Very small in comparison. These are boutique guitars. We've talked a lot about these. You're going to get any heritage that corresponds to the big name for slightly less than what this would be from Gibson. However, I will say, one, comparing these to Custom Shop Les Pauls, they're same caliber. They're fantastic guitars. I also think it's us telling you about these guitars. We tell you about a bunch of guitars, but you look at who they're associating themselves with player-wise, and it's a huge range of players, but some of the best guitarists that are out there making videos and recording are playing these guitars. Interestingly enough, I see a lot of the same players playing these, also playing Bad Cat.
Yep.
And I think that's like such a good correlation. Bad Cat is to amps as Heritage is to guitars a little bit to me, but somebody wants a Les Paul their whole life. Why would they buy this instead of a Gibson Les Paul? I think one, you look at the players that are playing them, they're discerning people, and they see quality in these that they probably see in Gibson too, but there's just a little extra mojo on these. And
there's a certain heritage to them for sure.
There's a certain heritage coming out of Kalamazoo. But I just think
Parsons.
I think that with something like this, I've wanted a Les Paul, like a nice Les Paul forever, something that looks almost just like this. I would be so happy to own this. Like, I would never say, well, it needs to say Gibson on it.
Right.
I've wanted a Gibson Les Paul forever. But if this was put in my hands, it's like, I mean, it's...
Well, the quality is really there, and the value really is there. I mean, you said a little bit like less, but sometimes it's a lot less, thousands of dollars less.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could get one of these instead of a Gibson Custom Shop and then have enough left over to buy an American Strat or something. I mean, there can be that big of a difference. So I think there's a lot of value, and not just from a monetary standpoint. I think there's a lot of value in the build and the quality that they're putting into it, the love and care that goes out there. These came in. We didn't set them up. We tuned them up. We played, and they're great.
Yeah, these came in yesterday and unboxed them, and I hadn't even seen what they looked like. We just got an email that was like, we got some factory specials. Not a ton of these around. Do you guys want them? I saw Cadillac Green. I saw Bourbon Burst.
Yes.
We're going to say yes. But when we pulled them out, it's just like, they're perfect. They're awesome. So there's other factory specials coming if you're a fan of a hollow body, if you're a fan of a semi-hollow body, and there will be more to come. These are just two great examples of, yes, you can get a custom core and Dirty Lemon Burst. I think that's probably their pride and joy.
Popular,
and you can get a Heritage Standard and have just as good of quality, just with a little less of the flair of one of these. But we have yet to play a Heritage that we're like, they're all just, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The other cool thing about it is you can find out all the information about these on our website,
alamomusic.com.
And you can buy them on our website if you so choose, or
alamomusic.com.
You can come in and we can help you find the right one for you. That's what's great. If you like guitars, acoustic, electric, amps, everything that goes along with them, you should subscribe to our channel. And you should like us because we're likable. But you should like the videos.
Yeah, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll see the new podcast episode.
That's right. We've shot a new podcast, both for audio and video. So you can see us talk about guitars, around guitars, with guitars. Emphasis on guitars there. So
I love a guitar. You know what I'm saying? I love them.
Good thing we do what we do, right? Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, make sure that you subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, comment below what you think about these guitars, and as always, keep coming back, and we will be here for you. See you next time.